You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thanks for joining me today for another Sunday version of our What Sold Fast on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. This week we're talking about the week of September 1st through September 7th, and just all around another solid week. Good for sales, not fantastic, not anything crazy, but just a good solid week. Had a bunch of items that sold for over $30 or more, and had a lot of items that sold in less than 2 weeks. And for me, that's what I'm really focusing on, is fast, quick sales. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'll share with you all of the items that sold in less than 2 weeks. Then we'll go over the numbers in general and, a little bit of everything. And then we'll go over the items that sold for over $30. Starting us off is a Calvin Klein merino wool quarter zip sweater, size large, men's, sold on an offer for $16 on Poshmark in 14 days exactly. Next up is one of my favorite sales of the week. I think I posted this on Instagram, or maybe it's going to post on Instagram. I schedule them so I don't have to deal with it throughout the day. I schedule them in the morning, so somewhere on Instagram this will post. But it is a Scottish cashmere fringe tartan plaid scarf made in Scotland. It sold for $39, which was full asking price on Poshmark. That sold in 13 days, and this was just amazing because I love finding cashmere scarves or silk scarves at the bins. They weigh barely anything, and they sell for a decent amount of money. Obviously, this is the time of year for it, but I stock up on them throughout the year, and I'm just really happy that they're all starting to sell. And I also think it's so funny that I find so many of them in Orlando. My throat is nuts. Next up is a Mercer & Madison women's wool blend floral blazer. This I thought was really pretty, and I kind of took a chance on it. I do feel like there is a market for, and it's usually on eBay, for just nice shrugs or cardigans that are full wool or a wool blend. I would imagine it's more of a mature woman that's purchasing something like this. This sold on an offer for $20. I don't remember how much I had it for, but $20 is fine. Again, this is a bins find, so perfectly fine with me. And that sold in 12 days on eBay. Again, all of my eBay now is being charged for shipping, so this was $20 plus shipping. Next up are Nike Golf Tour Performance Pants, the dry fit, size 42, men's. So these sold for an offer of $16. These sold in 12 days on Poshmark. I like picking up Nike golf items, more so the pants and other related items than like the polo shirts. I feel like there's just a lot of them. But Nike golf I do try to focus on. When I see it, I grab it, and if it's in good condition, it's definitely something that I try to work into my inventory. Next up is a Boston proper top, just kind of like a tunic top, and this sold for full price of $19.90. No, that was an offer. I forget how much I had it up for, but that was an offer, $19.99 plus shipping on eBay. It sold in 11 days, and this was an item that I bought from another Poshmark person. I've sold a few of them now from this same order. A woman contacted me on Instagram, said that she's downsizing her closet and that she had seen some of my videos. Did I want to look in her closet and purchase anything? And I did, and I told her, listen, I can only spend so much. Obviously there's plus shipping on Poshmark. You can only fit so many items. And so I wanted to be fair with her, but at the same time, as a reseller, she should know you can only pay so much for an item. And so she let me have not all of the items that I had liked in her closet, but a good amount of them. And I think I got 6 or 8 items from her. I don't remember the overall price, but it was somewhere between $5 and $6 shipped that I ended up paying. And so, just to get inventory shipped to you is great. And I thought this worked out well. So that was, again, if I didn't say 11 days on eBay. This was part of a 3-item bundle. I haven't figured out a good system to show you the bundles and kind of remember to pull it up. It's only when I see it that I'm like, oh yeah, that was a bundle. So it did not sell for $29. I had it up for $29, and I don't remember what the per item was, but it definitely wasn't $29. But this did sell with 3 other items on Poshmark, and it had only been listed for 11 days. Obviously, Harley-Davidson is a great seller, depending on the item. And then this was in okay condition. It wasn't in like, no. Different shirt. Sorry. This one was in excellent condition. It just didn't have the size tag. There was another one that I had that was not in as good of shape, but they still sell usually. So that was on Poshmark in, 11 days. So this item is one of my favorite things to sell. This is a new with tags Disney Frozen Elsa costume, and this is Disney Parks, authentic from the theme parks. You can see by the tag here, if you followed me, you know this is what I like to pick up. Disney Parks, authentic original. You can only buy it at Disney. This was a little bit bigger than I like to pick up. I usually like to pick up the 3, 4, 5, 6 range. A medium 7, 8 is a little bit older, but I do find when I'm at the theme parks that sometimes there are older girls that are into it, of course, just in general. But then sometimes there are even older than this girls that have special needs, that have a mentality of younger, and so they're into things that are a little bit more for a younger age. And I am not saying anything about special needs, it's just an observation that I've made, that sometimes there are girls that are older that are mentally on a level lower because of what they have going on, and so they're wearing the larger sizes of these, even though, and I'm talking about like size 10 and 12, where normally that's not a size that I would really see very often. So I don't mean to get myself in trouble here, but just an observation. Anyway, I saw this at Once Upon a Child, and usually I go there to sell items back, sell Geo's items, sell items that I find, to make some quick cash, same like I go to other women's consignment stores. And so when I went to Once Upon a Child, whenever I go there, I always check the costume area. Now in our area, again, this is Orlando, so there's a lot of these costumes coming in and out because we're all locals, and not every local loves to go to Disney, but there's a lot of us. And so I always find princess costumes. Sometimes they're new with tags, sometimes they're popular ones, sometimes they're not in such good shape, or they're not Disney Parks ones, they're like Disney Store or like the Walmart, Target licensed ones, and I don't get those. But when I see a Disney Parks one, most of the time I pick it up, especially if it's a good condition. And so this I actually paid up for, surprisingly, if you can believe it. I paid $8.50 for this item. I didn't pay tax, I have my reseller certificate. So I paid $8.50 for this, and I figured usually these go for anywhere between $25 and $30. And so because this one was a little larger, I was kind of also thinking maybe the $20 range. So when I got the offer for $22 for this on Poshmark, I was fine with it because I knew that even after fees on Poshmark, I was still more than doubling my money. So for me, that was fine. And it was a quick flip. It flipped in 9 days, and I'm 100% cool with that. This was a great sale. Happy to do it. Would totally do it again. So, you need to, over time, identify some items that you're willing to pay up for because you know it's a sure thing. You know exactly how much you're going to get for it. And that just comes with time and kind of paying attention. I wish I knew more of these, but this one I'm comfortable with. I feel confident in the buy that I made at $8.50. I feel comfortable in the sale that I made at $22. I wish I felt that way about more things. So it just comes with time, and I'm happy to keep trying to find those patterns, and I hope you will too. Sorry, that was a big tangent, but I thought it was worth talking about. Next up is J. Crew. It's an Italian cashmere. Again, love picking up cashmere. Love picking up cashmere at the bins. And this actually did some sweater shaving too, and it ended up coming out really nice. This I think I had up for $39 or $49. They gave me an offer for $30 on eBay. It's plus shipping, and that sold in 8 days. So I was totally cool with that. Oh my God, I'm so phlegmy. So that was good all around. Also, I find there's a couple J. Crew pieces in this group today. I think I'm being a better J. Crew picker because in the beginning I used to pick up anything J. Crew, and then I would be so mad because it wouldn't sell, or I'd have to barely give it away in order for it to sell. And now I feel like I'm fine-tuning my J. Crew picking. So just on the, lesson learning thing, if you're someone who's newer or just finding that there's certain things that aren't working for you that you feel like they should, try to fine-tune on brand what you're picking up as well. I'm not a good style picker, so for me it's just trying to figure out, should I go for more value fabric, value brand, value type of item. And that way it's less reliant on style, because apparently my style, I mean, look what I'm wearing. I look like a garbage person. So, it's just, style's not my thing. I'm just a one of a kind and no one wants my style. What I pick is not stylish for the masses. Thank God I'm not, an actual buyer somewhere for a store. But for my store, I'm trying to focus on things that I do know. I do know good fabrics. I do know good item types. I do know good brands regardless, or good certain types of items. So for me, that's been working and I'm very happy about that. This next up has a typo in it. First of all, it should be Curve Appeal, but Curve Appeal women's minimalist jeggings, and these came in something that came to me. I did not pick these myself, so I don't remember if it was a liquidation or where these came from, but I just sold them for $10 plus shipping. I was fine with that. It was not my asking price, but again, it was when there's an item that I didn't specifically pick knowing that it should do good, and it's something that came to me, I'm happy to take a little bit less just to make sure that I'm getting that money and cash flow back. So that was on sale for $6, 6 days. And that's the other thing. Now that I know that it sells quickly, I may look a little bit more into this, or if I should see it again, perhaps I would pick it up because I know it's a quick seller. But again, I did not go seek that out. That was one that came to me. Next up is a Rachel Roy New with Tags handkerchief dress, and this I sold for $15 on an offer. I haven't had good luck with Rachel Roy. There were a lot of pre-owned items, Rachel Roy, that I bought in the very beginning, and I couldn't practically give them away. So at this point, I would not be picking up Rachel Roy pre-owned, but it was new with tags. And again, I feel like this came to me, so I don't know if this was liquid. I don't remember where this came from, but it sold in 5 days for $15. So that's cool on Poshmark. Next up, I know, it came from a local closet clear out person. That's what it was. And so did this. New with tags, Gap high rise, 4-inch denim shorts with a button fly, offer of $15. Gap is a hard, funny thing. I love Gap. I want to pick up Gap often. I see things that I think are super cute with Gap. I think it has to be like super on trend and recent and new with tags for Gap to get any attention, at least in my experience. So there's a lot of Gap that I don't pick up anymore, even though I want to and I'm drawn to it, because I've just had such a hard time getting rid of it. And these are new with tags, and they still only sold for $15. This was an offer, of course, but again, I'm moving things through. We're coming out of short season, so I was fine to let those go. And those sold in 5 days on Poshmark. Next up is a new with tags loft tweed skirt, and it was just an offer of $13. I'm really not sure how I feel about these loft skirts anymore. This I think I got in a local closet clear out as well. I feel like loft has to be new with tags if it's just a basic skirt, because I've picked up so many of these and have gotten rid of so many of these for super cheap, or gotten rid of them, like taken them out of inventory and sold them back to the consignment store or whatever. I just feel like it has to be the right skirt for someone to want it. I don't know if it's because of how they fit, and so you're not sure with your hips. I mean, I take good measurements now. I do waist, hip, and length. I just don't know what the issue is. So for me, I'd rather pick up loft tops that are easy peasy, loft any kind of outerwear, or loft dresses. To me, I feel like that's a more sure thing than the skirts. But in any case, this was new with tags. It was an offer of $13. Thanks so much, goodbye. And that sold in 5 days on eBay plus shipping. Next up is a Mercari sale, new with tags, Soho Bowery 9-inch short, size 10, sold on an offer for $15. Pretty sure I had them up for $19. This isn't anything special. Again, just wanting to move through with shorts. I'm pretty sure this came from a local closet clear out, and I just grabbed them because I could pay $1. They came to me and they were new with tags. So this was a fine flip for me. And those sold in 5 days on Mercari. This sold in 1 day, same day. It's a Victoria's Secret Dream Angels Racerback bra, 34 double D. I had it up for $19. It sold on an offer for $15. Maybe could have gotten more, but this is another thing. I used to pick up Victoria's Secret bras all the time, just really lately have had trouble getting rid of them. This one is in great shape. It's really nice, really beautiful. And so I'm happy for this person to have gotten a good deal. Maybe I could have gotten more if I waited, but I love those same day sales. Get it in, get it out, let's move on. So I also couldn't find it for like 2 days because it should have been listed earlier. And then I guess we forgot to take a picture of the item number. So I had to go back and find it based on other items that the pictures were around and find it in the, it was like a whole thing. I hate when items get lost like that because it's so time consuming and just completely takes you out of your, way to do it. But it happens sometimes where my photographer sometimes forgets to take a picture of the item number, and so you just have this item in there in the pictures with no item number, and so you have no way to find it except for going back to the bin of where the other items are around it, and it's a whole thing. Anywho, so that sold same day on Mercari, and on Mercari it's free shipping. Last quick sale, Lululemon crop leggings. Sometimes I can find the names of things, sometimes I can't, and this one I just didn't even bother trying at this point, but they were a size 6, they had the size dot, they sold the same day on eBay, plus shipping on an offer of $25, and I was cool with that. I don't remember if I had them up for $29 or $39, I'm not getting as much for Lululemon as I used to, but if it sells quickly, I am cool with that. I also find that the solid black sells way better than things that have colors in them, because I still have some Lululemon that's sitting that has colors. But that was a same day sale, and that was excellent on eBay. So let's go over the numbers, and then we go over the over $30 item sales. So for the week of September 1st to the 7th, I sold 28 items on Poshmark for $554 in sales. It was respectable. A little less than I'd like, but respectable. I sold on eBay 27 items for $656 in sales. Mercari was steady, a little lower than last week, but last week was a great week. So Mercari was 8 items sold. Again, I'm always happy just to get 1 or 2 sales a day. I'm fine with that on average. And that was $135 in sales. So overall total of 63 items sold, $1,345 in sales, and an average gross ASP of $21.35. That's the highest it's been in quite some time. So I was really impressed with that ASP. That's good news. Overall, it was a solid week, not anything too crazy. I am a little disappointed at the number of items sold. Again, it doesn't really matter. It's all about how much you're making and profit and all of that. But, I like to do at least 10 a day, and this isn't even 10 a day. And really, I want to be doing more like 12 and 15 a day. And I feel like I was for a while, but I've noticed that as I've sourced better items, as I've had more over $30 sales, as I've had a higher ASP growing, the number of items has gone down. Again, that's fine, less to ship, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I'm sourcing a lot of items. And so it does mean that certain things are churning through and other things are just sitting. So if I can really fine tune then the things that are just sitting, then I can really have a moving store. And that leads me into kind of the timeline of things that sold. So again, a respectable 16 items that sold in less than 2 weeks. I think that's great. Only 11 that sold within a month in addition to that. Only 3 that sold in less than 2 months in addition to that. And then we're back to normal at 15 items that sold in a time frame of being listed for 2 to 6 months, and 10 items that sold for 6 months or longer. Again, my timeline is shrinking, which is exactly what I want it to do. I'm getting rid of items that have been in inventory for over a year if I can help it. I do have a video coming up soon. I think it might be this week, on my inventory management system. So if you are curious on how to really keep your store churning through items and how you can maximize your profits and maximize your sales by keeping items moving and having quicker sales and having a system in place to generate that, be on the lookout for that video, because this is what I've been working on for quite some time, and now I'm executing on it and then able to share it with you. So I'm very excited about that. And then here are our sales. We had 7 this week that were over $30. Again, I'd love for it to be more, but 1 a day over $30, I'm cool with that. That really helps the bottom line. And let's see what they were. It was one of the J. Crew items. So the J. Crew Italian Cashmere, we already talked about this. This was a quick sale, and it was for $30 on eBay plus shipping. So that's fantastic. And some of these over $30 sales sell quickly because they're in-demand, desirable items. So people are paying more, they're selling faster. Those are great because you hit two things. You hit sell fast and you hit sell for higher. And then there's a few always that are items that are listed for longer because maybe seasonality or you just need to find the right buyer, but those are good too. And the more of those that you have in your inventory, the more money you're going to make overall, because when that buyer finds you, you can just slot them in your sales. So this is one of them. Rails, women's linen blend, Western blouse, Henley fringe. I don't even know what they put in this listing, but whatever. It finally sold for $30. And I'm cool with that. This was not a quick sale. I don't have the information on that, of how long it was listed for, but it sold for $30, and that's good news, plus shipping on eBay. Another item, not a quick sale, but it wasn't super long either. These are relatively new. J. Crew women's Paley pant. And I've had better luck with the J. Crew pants. I feel like ones that are of wool blend, and that these 120s have done well. There's a couple other ones I don't know off the top of my head, or if they're solid black. Obviously, if they're newer, they have the black label as well. And so, those things have all been indicators for me to pick up a J. Crew item versus leave it behind. So that was a great sale. Here's our Scottish cashmere fringe tartan plaid scarf. Love you. So happy that you love you. That was such a great, it's awesome. It cost like 50 cents. Oh, I love it. Okay. Sorry. I think I just need to see, they're from the bins. I was going to say I should take a picture of myself just laying there and all cashmere scarves would be so nice, but they're all from the bins and I don't want to do that. This was from a local closet clear out. It's the last purse to sell. I got 5 purses from one woman. I paid her about $15 per bag. This one had some markings and issues, which is why it was the last one to sell. It said overall good condition, but a few marks, and I showed them in the photos, but it finally sold, still made a profit, still basically doubled my money, if not a little bit more. Cool all around. Very nice to dabble into selling purses for a little bit. This item was not a quick sale. I've had it for a while. I got it at a clearance sale from a consignment store. It was a brand new with tags, Marchesa Voyage dress. It's beautiful. If I needed to wear it somewhere, I would totally wear it. It's very thick, nice, just a nice dress. And I had it up for way higher. I had it up for over $100. It was a retail value of $4.95, and finally I think I sent out an offer for $50, and the person took it, and thank God. This is one of those things where you get so excited when you buy a high retail value item. When you buy a really expensive item, a good designer, whatever it is, you're so excited to have this in your store, and then it just sits. And I'm not very patient when it comes to that. I get find the right buyer, okay, but at the same time, this is a valuable item and it's just sitting here, which means money is tied up. Now, granted, I only paid a few dollars for it, so that's really all I have tied up in it. But at the same time, this is profit that's sitting there on the table if it's not sold. And so I could have $50 profit, or I could have $100 profit. Do I want $50 now profit or $100 profit later? I don't know, but I am just wanting to keep things moving. So there's that. This one was fun. It was actually brand new with tags when I bought it, and I got it at the same kind of sale, a local consignment store clearance sale. So I'm only paying a few dollars per item. Love picking up Eliza J. Some things do better than others for me, but it was new with tags. I love orange, so I already had my eye on it to begin with, and then I had a wedding to go to back in March, and so I was like, that's it, I'm just gonna go shopping in my Poshmark closet, and I knew exactly that I wanted this dress, and I untagged it. I devalued it by taking the tags off and wearing it myself, but it hadn't sold in a while, and I was like, I need a dress. I really don't feel like going to buy a dress, so I took the tags off, I wore it, and now I sold it as a pre-owned, and that was perfect. I did have it dry cleaned before I wore it, and I did have it dry cleaned after I wore it. and it still sold. So I'm not making as much profit on this as I could have because I did 2 dry cleanings with it, but because I wore it, you know, you got to do it. So yes, and I'm happy that I was able to find the stock photo for this because it doesn't really, like the way it hangs, it just doesn't really do it justice. And I thought of showing, I did take a picture modeling it, but I just don't really like putting them, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. If I really have to, I will. So this sold for $40 in an offer on Poshmark. And that is the last item. I hope you had great sales. I feel pretty happy with my week all around. Again, be on the lookout for all the videos coming up this week. I've got lots of great content coming for you. Be sure to like this video on the way out. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe for more Reseller Mom content to get more done, make more money, and stay sane while raising kids and reselling online. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions about this, and I appreciate it. Take care. Bye.